Today, we will talk about three emotional needs that silently shape your entire life experience. And if they are not met, they can quietly sabotage your confidence, your success, your stage presence as an artist, your relationships, your creative expression, and even your sense of purpose. All crucial if you are an ambitious, purpose-driven performing artist. In this video, we'll explore what these emotional needs are, how they become wounded, and how to start healing them so you can stop standing in your own way and finally unlock your full creative power, intuitive clarity, and your true confidence. Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a mezzo-soprano and transformation coach. And this channel is all about healing the hidden inner struggles of high-achieving performing artists. So welcome to the sacred space of healing and empowerment. Please subscribe, and let's get right into today's topic. The three core emotional needs we must be aware of and heal in order to reach our next level are the need to feel safe, the need to feel powerful, to feel like we have a choice that we can choose for ourselves, and the need to feel that we matter, that we have a value. These are basic emotional needs of every human being. And often, when you find yourself stuck in life, dismissed, ignored, powerless, or emotionally triggered in any way, sure enough, there is a wound around one or more of these three needs. So, how does it work? Your soul carries a divine blueprint, one that inherently knows that you are 100% safe, 100% powerful, and 100% valuable just because you exist. But as you go through life, that blueprint gets distorted by your upbringing, early experiences, and your unique conditioning. Here is an example. Imagine you are a 2-year-old child playing in the kitchen, opening cabinets, taking out cookware, making noise. It all feels normal, and you feel safe to explore, safe to be yourself, and to have fun. But then you touch a hot stove. What happens? An alarm goes off in your brain. Your emotions skyrocket, and you have a traumatic response to that event. In that moment of shock and pain, your brain opens up for reprogramming. There is a specific function for this in your brain. First, you learn to never touch a hot stove again, but you also learn that you are not always safe. And just like that, your divine blueprint starts to change. And we all have plenty of these moments, big and small, that shift our internal blueprint around these three needs. And over time, your inner settings might look like feeling 20% safe and 80% unsafe, for example, and 50% connected to your power and 50% powerless, or 60% valuable, but 40% of the time, like you don't matter. And again, this percentage is different for everyone depending on your unique life experience and how your system perceived it. But once your blueprint is set, you carry it everywhere. You keep attracting situations and people to confirm this distorted blueprint until you become aware of it. And then, only then, you can change it. Why this matters, especially for performing artists? This is so important because how safe, how powerful, and how valuable you feel determines how far you allow yourself to go, to grow, and to expand. And as a performing artist, if you are not growing and expanding, you are dying. If you don't feel safe to be vulnerable, you will hide away from big opportunities. If you don't feel like you matter, you will sabotage your own success. And if you don't feel like you are a powerful creator of your reality, you will give your power away and stay stuck in powerlessness. So the more you heal these three emotional needs back to your divine blueprint, the more unstoppable you become. Yes? Hit that like button if this makes sense and if this resonates. I'll give you an example, a story. One of my clients, an incredibly talented actress, was unconsciously hiding from the big opportunities she deeply wished for. Even though she was secretly dreaming of something bigger, she kept saying yes only to small gigs. Deep down, she carried fear, fear of success, fear of being fully exposed and visible, fear of criticism, and fear of what she would even do if her career exploded. So she kept playing small, not because she was not ready, but because she didn't feel safe. And as soon as we addressed these deep emotional wounds, that unmet need for safety, everything began to shift. She landed a huge role, and not long after, she was nominated for Best Actress in a Play by the Los Angeles Broadway World Awards. How amazing! This work truly works. So, what do we do once we have this awareness? Start by asking yourself, what situations or who are challenging your sense of safety, power, and value? Every challenge, every conflict, every stretch into your next level, there's always a connection to one of these three core needs. And here's the key. When a strong emotion or trigger comes up, your brain opens up again for reprogramming. The same function in your brain opens up. And in that moment, you have two options. Option one is to react, get defensive, shut down, escape. And this behavior just reaffirms your old blueprint and keeps the cycle going. But you have an option two, and that is to pause, notice the trigger, get curious about it, and ask yourself, what part of me is this trigger activating? And here you can use that moment to reprogram yourself back to safety, power, and value. Here's how to start. When the trigger comes, you pause, you create some distance from that experience, and you become a curious observer. You recognize that pattern. It will feel familiar because its energy has been locked, has been stuck in your nervous system for a long time. You might feel, you will feel it in the body, and you might feel muscular tension or knot in your stomach or nausea or shortness of breath or heaviness around your heart or even freezing. And these sensations can be subtle or can be very strong. And sometimes you might not even recognize them because you are so used to it, especially if one of your coping mechanisms is to disconnect from your body, which is very common. But what you want to do is to slow things down and pay full attention. And if you do have the capacity, stay with those sensations. They often run on autopilot, and the first response is usually to ignore them, run away from them, or distract yourself from them. But if you don't do that, you will find that these sensations hold wisdom, and you can transmute them, but only if you feel them. If you ignore them again, they stay locked in your shadow and block your connection to your intuition, your self-trust, your creativity, and your power. So allow yourself to feel and follow that feeling. You can cry it out, you can dance it out, you can shake it out. If you become conscious of this, you can and you will heal yourself because your body knows what to do. You just have to listen. And this is what it means to follow the wisdom of your body. That's what dissolves the inner grip. That's what opens the space for new sensations, sensations that were missing before. So you want to access those new sensations. And that's how you return to your original blueprint. Just ask your body, what do you need from me right now? And you may get an answer right away, or you may get it later. But if your intention is to reprogram, you absolutely can. Some people can do it on their own. Most people can do it on their own. Others might need some help. But when you are ready, when you know what you're looking for, the right teacher or the right guide will show up. And then you also want to create safety for yourself, especially when it comes to safety. Look at your life and see who are the people, the places, or objects that help you feel anchored and safe. And become aware of them. Be resourceful in creating your own sense of safety instead of waiting for it to come from outside. And this is the shift from spiritual childhood to spiritual adulthood. As a spiritual adult, you realize that I can create what I didn't receive. I'm not dependent on others anymore. And there is a massive power in that realization. And when the next trigger comes, you'll have more resources, more awareness, and more choice. You'll be able to respond instead of react. And in doing so, you will start reprogramming your brain back to feeling safe, powerful, and valuable. And from that inner place, you'll feel deeper self-trust, a stronger connection to your intuition, and you'll finally stop standing in your own way. And if this message is resonating with you, if you know you are meant for more, but something inside still holds you back, I'd love to invite you to my free online training where I teach you how to channel anxiousness and inner pressure into focus and grounded confidence, just like the best performers do. Inside this training, I'll walk you through the 5 inner shifts that separate the top performing artists from the rest and how you can start applying these shifts today. This is not another quick tip. This is a soul level transformation and it's completely free. You can register at the link in the description, and this might be the turning point you've been waiting for. All right. Thank you again for watching. Please like and subscribe for more empowering content for performing artists, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.